In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to make a three-paneled window card. It opens like this, and the template I'm going to show you is perfectly designed to give you this layered look. So it lends itself perfectly to two-sided cardstock. So I've got a light blue here, and I've got a printed pattern here, and it gives me this layered look right in here. Additionally, the templates are so versatile that you could use them in a portrait sort of landscape, a tall. You can use them in a landscape sort of fashion where they're wider like this. This is the same template called the Archer's Window. Additionally, these templates can be used to make shorter cards and longer cards. And I'll show you how to do all that. This is the template I used. I'm going to use a dark piece of cardstock just for this part of the demonstration so you can see the outlines of the template. And what I do is they're designed to fit standard 12 by 12 scrapbook paper and cardstock, so there's minimal cutting, and they're 6 inches tall, so you can get two of them out of a 12 by 12. But all you have to do is you line it up to the edges here. You got to make sure that this is exactly perpendicular and lined up touching the edge, and then you just trace the perimeter, trace his top line, and then there's 4 little carets. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are indices that we'll use for scoring the card and getting the folds exactly where they need to be. Additionally, you want to make sure that you trace your windows. You notice that this one's larger than this one, and that's what's going to give our nested effect. And when you're done, you'll end up with something like this. This is closer to the paper I'm actually going to be using. You can see my traced patterns, and I've got 4 indices here. At that point, I would cut the card out, and I would end up with this. So I've got to put my indices in there, and I used a template straight edge, or you can use a ruler, and you go point to point. That's the caret that I drew before from the template edge, and there's the caret edge there, and I would just score this, and then I would move over and score this point to point over here. And then I would cut out these two holes, the Archer's Window. And this is what you end up getting. So I'm layered here. I've got a very nice little border here. It's a light blue, and the artwork's already been done for you, so it's a perfect complement to the card. So you have a landscape look, a portrait look, and additionally, if you wanted something shorter, you could just make the card right out of the standard using the template, and then just cut off the 2 inches like this, or you could pre-measure it and use it that way. But if you wanted to make a tall card like this one, and this one is actually a different sample that I used with the template, the pinched window. This one's 9 inches long. You could cut your cardstock down to 9 inches from the beginning, or you can just use it like this. So here's my dark paper standard 12 by 12 cardstock. And how I would use it is I would come over here, line up the top, and just make sure that I'm perfectly lined up with the side and the top. Sorry about that. The side and the top, and I'd mark the caret over here and the caret over here. And if this is where I wanted my window, I would trace the windows right here, like so. And then all you have to do to make a longer card is slide it down. And this is a very critical part. You want to make sure that this is exactly lined up to the edge right here, because it'll give us a perfect perpendicular 90-degree angle, and it'll make sure the creases are in the right spot. So if you wanted, this is 12 by 12. If you want to make a 12-inch card, just take it all the way down to the bottom and mark your 2 indices over here. You could also mark these just as to make sure that you're good from the top to the middle to the bottom, but you really only need the top and the bottom. So if I wanted more windows here, I would put them right here in this particular spot. So when you're finished, it would look something like this. This is the other pinched window, but this will give you the idea of what was done over here. So you've got a longer card. So if I wanted to add a window to it, I would match my window I would use the same window for this particularly. But you could also do the windows after the fact. So you line it up to the edge. Here's a caret right here. Here's a caret right here. That'll make sure that these will nest inside each other after you trace these and cut these. So you can imagine how cool this would look if you had multiple windows like this, side by side. Here's a couple neat samples that I created using this template. That's the one I demonstrated. Here's another neat little piece of paper. This one's just white on the inside, but it still gives us our little border. And we laid this down just using all our bits and pieces to give us this sort of look. And then here's a really neat one too, using the archer's window. I love to make these kind of cards because they've got a great reveal to them. Just put the others. But like I said before, you could actually make 2 more windows here and have these all showing up at the same time. Archer's window template.